Hello and welcome, I'm Logan with All Paths Taken. This is part 8 of my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring. In this episode, we will be exploring the western section of Caelid Wilds. As always, we are going for every secret, every item, and every boss. So, fellow Tarnished, rise and join me on my quest to become the true Elden Lord. Now, one thing I do need to say is that I said we're going to start from Summon Water Village. We are actually going to start from the round table because we got to talk to the finger reader. When you talk to her, you will get new dialogue and a talisman pouch, which is why we're here.
Once before have I seen two great runes together. Look there. The fingers shudder with exuberance. Fine work, brave Tarnished. The greater will is pleased. You have earned the right to become Elden Lord. Now, seek the Erdtree and an audience with Queen Marika to become Elden Lord and restore the Golden Order. The fingers expect as much from you as they do young Gideon. Take this, a token of farewell.
Thank you.
Go forth. Become Elden Lord.
Will do, lady. So again, this is where you can buy or trade in your remembrances. Again, with Renala, you get her staff, which is kind of cool. It does have a hefty requirement, though, of 60 intelligence. And then you get a really good spell, which is 70 intelligence. But it's up to you. This is more of like a new game plus type of deal. So it's up to you if you want it. And then you can also buy her garb. The only thing of note that I will mention from her, if you are a magic build and you did not know this, this helmet or crown that she wears does increase intelligence. So if you're somebody who's wanting to spam magic left and right and be a mage, you're probably going to need to wear this so you can do even more intelligence damage. Again, if you want to learn about Queen Marika, you are welcome to, but we are going to go forth. And if there is anything else that you need to do here, like it probably isn't a bad idea if we talk to Dialos again, since the last time we saw him in Liurnia.
You again, is it? The recusants sent a lackey. Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did? I can scarcely believe it myself. Did they think me a fool? You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer. Then I only had to ask. The location of the recusant hideout. It's on Mount Gelmir, found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. You'll rue the day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslo is told in blood, after all.
I mean, he seems like a really angry dude, but he's kind of a pushover. You know his story. But there's a couple things that I want to just check real quick. So I can't remember if I've done everything. I think I've done everything. Ooh, I need to buy those though. Those are helpful. Also, don't forget there is a memory stone there as well. So if you're looking for that, you can do that as well. Now is also a good time to switch your build up if you wanted to do that. But I'm just going to keep rocking the Great Mace for a little while longer. And now we're going to head to Summon Water Village to finally start and dive in to Caelid Wilds. Alright, so from here, we're going to go basically straight across to the minor Erdtree, where we're going to take a small detour at the church over there, as we will have an invader. Man, it's so nice running through this game this way, playing it to 100% completion. Like, I've only done something like this with Elden Ring, or close to this, on my very first playthrough. Like, I tried to explore as much as humanly possible for a new player to this game without looking up any guides, any walkthroughs, anything like that my first time. I played this game for probably 250 hours. I thought I found almost every cave that I could. I thought I found almost every catacombs that I could. Like, it was awesome. It was so much fun. And it really feels like I'm doing it again with this 100% walkthrough. Like, obviously I am, but it feels like oh, I forgot this was here. Oh, I forgot this was here. This is so cool. Like, that's the vibe I get from doing the 100% walkthrough with this game. Ow, wild strikes, mean. My bonk is bigger than yours, lady. Freeze! Alright. But then we kill her, grab a couple cookbooks, and then we get the Scorpion Charm, which increases our holy damage, but it also increases damage dealt. So, it's up to you, Faith Builds, if you're looking to do something like that. But now what we are going to do is we are going to head right over here, and we're going to fight another Erdtree avatar to get a couple more cracked crystal tears. So you can just ride past these guys. Every now and again, one or two of them will join you, so they'll follow you to the fight, but for the most part, it's not that big of a deal. So the only thing this one will have that is different than the other ones is an attack where they will spam Rot everywhere. That's about it. Otherwise, it's going to be the same attack. So jump attacks, roll twice to get beside them, and then you won't ever get touched again, in all honesty. God, that's a lot of damage. Alright, well that was quick. And then after we kill him, we want to keep heading southeast and follow this cliffside past the jars. And we will end up getting to a Catacombs. Alright, so we got the minor Erdtree Catacombs. So with this Catacombs, it's not incredibly difficult. The boss fight is relatively annoying. I mentioned in the last episode that I was probably going to switch my build up a little bit. When I was on my walkthrough prep, I realized that I probably should wait until after this boss fight, because this boss fight is way easier when you have a big bopping weapon like this, compared to the weapons I was going to try. But we got one enemy over there. We're going to hop down the elevator. Now we got a couple of different paths to take. We're going to go forward first. We got an ambush at the bottom of the stairs. We got another ambush in here. Once we take them out, we just simply come across. And we are in a room. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I was thinking of a different room. But now we are in the room with our lever. Ouch. I just keep running into attacks. I even saw him. So we grab the lever first, and then it is now our job to find the door. The door is actually under the elevator, but we got another path before we go to the door. And that is, I believe, right back here. So we're not going to send the elevator up yet. We are just going to go around and past the elevator because we got an item over there. So I'm just going to show you this quick. We'll come back for this later. But there are a boatload of little squishy enemies there. The blobs. There's also a bunch of blobs that will fall down from the ceiling that we can't see when we get to the middle of this room. But as you can see up top, there's another path that way. And we are going to head that way now. I wanted to show you that first so you don't end up getting in a position where you could accidentally take more rot than normal or than needed. Because rot is something that you might not be prepared for as of yet. But if you run through quick enough throughout the level, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Because there's not going to be very many enemies we're going to fight in this level. Actually, we got pretty good rot resistance already with my armor, I think. But we're going to run through this section here. Grab the Grave Violet. I did the same thing on my walkthrough prep, god dang it. But just mash your buttons so you can get out real quick. And we're going to run down this way for the boss room. Now, before you go to the boss room, we have one other path to take. So, head back through the rot. Try not to roll your way through, as if you roll it, it will still continue the rot buildup since it's going to be anywhere but your shoes. Now when we get up here, we have a couple of crabs through here that will spawn. We can kill these ones first. And we got a couple of these guys to kill. Then we get to grab our golden rune and some grave glowwort. Then we get to climb up the ladder. And now we should be pretty much right on the side, or right on the top balcony, where we get to that room with all of the rot. We got one dude here on the right, and then we got another one behind us, right over here on the left. I'm not sure why that guy didn't aggro, but that's fine. We can grab more glowwort. We got one more enemy down here on the end. What a legend. What a legend, he dodged it. We get to grab the imp head wolf. And then before we grab that item, we got 2 imps over here to kill. Nice. And now, we can grab our last 2 items. And then we can get over to the boss fight. It is up to you if you want to grab all the glowwort and grave violet. For me, not really needed, because I'm never going to use the ashes, but there's some people that like to play that way, so it's up to you. But we're going to head back down, and now we're going to run through that little stream of rot again. Try to jump over any enemies that get in your way, if there are enemies in your way. And, whew, so close. Then, we're going to head to a boss fight. So, the boss fight, basically, is, it's basically 2 of the watchdogs in the same room. One is the one with the watchdog staff that spams magic every now and again. And then the other one is the one with the sword. Overall, if you're using a weapon like mine, where you're going to have relatively high stagger potential and you're going to do a good amount of damage with the big bonks, like a colossal sword, a great sword, you'll be just fine. If you're a magic builder, just stay away from them and spam. There's a lot of good ways to kill these guys, but if you're a small weapon, like you're using a dagger or you're using claws or something like that, you got to use hit and run tactics to the best of your ability. But we are going to use that. We're going to walk in the room, and we got to run up to this one first. We're going to go huzzah, and we just run away. Because there's no sense in trying to fight them when they're doing all this nonsense. Oh, that was sick. That's so cool. Oh! Gimme. Is he dead? Nice. That's okay. Yeah, this was a billion times easier with a big weapon. On my walkthrough prep, I wanted to see if claws would be a good option. And man, claws were really difficult to try to fight these bosses with. Because they just don't do any stagger potential or anything like that. So, yeah. If you use smaller weapons like that, or fist weapons, unless they are blunted fist weapons, or they do more poise damage, they're not going to do very well, unfortunately. But, oh well. That is done. Now we can head out of the catacombs, and then we can warp back. Let's see, where was I warping back? Then we can warp back to the Smoldering Church. Alright, so from here, we are going to head into Caelid from the Smoldering Church. We got 1 item to grab. It is up to you if you want to kill the dogs. For me, I don't really need to deal with them. We're just going to grab and go. We're going to jump over this wall. And then we are going to get this grace right here. Then we're going to grab the item right on the edge of the balcony. And this is essentially where we are going to spend most of our time for the next few episodes. Isn't it great? I actually do like Caelid. I think Caelid is one of the cooler, more interesting levels in the game compared to what your stereotypical fantasy world would be, of like a majestic entrance with your first steps in Limgrave. Then you got just an even more beautiful and fantasy Liurnia, and now you got like the dark fantasy zone of Caelid, and I love it. I think it's so cool. Alright, but from here, we are going to get on Torrent, and we are going to head southwest. We are going to go through a jail to get more upgrade material, so if you are somebody who's dual wielding, you will be capable of getting your weapons all the way to plus 12, I believe. Maybe plus 15, I'm not sure. But once you grab all of those runes, we are going to head over this direction. We're going to head east. We want to drop down one level, otherwise we will take fall damage and probably die as we enter the jail tunnel. We got two enemies when we walk in. One's going to be standing there, one's going to be sitting there. We want to kill the sitting one first. Then we can kill the other one without taking any damage. Then we fall off to the left since there is no elevator. We grab a Somber 2. Then we head on down like we always do. And we get our grace. Alright, so from here we are going to run through. We got several enemies to kill. We're going to start with a couple of knights and a digger. We got one knight, and then here is our other digger. Oh, it's nice one-tapping everything. Oh, it makes me feel like a beast. Oh, almost get to one-tap. Kill those guys. Kill that guy so he doesn't block our way. We can grab a smithing stone 4 there on the wall by the entrance. Then in here, you don't need to kill anybody. It's up to you if you want to. Honestly, just run around, grab the stones, the fireflies, the cross naginata, and then behind this octopus, oh, excuse me, is a Somber 4. And then you can run out. There's really no reason to kill anything else in there. You don't get anything crazy for killing the big octopus, so. But from here, we are going to walk over this way, and we're going to kill Greatsword Boy, as he will get drawn over eventually. And then we can kill those diggers. I really hope one of them drops the pickaxe. I want to use the pickaxe. Pickaxe just sounds fun. Just sounds fun to use. But we get to kill all those guys, grab your stones. This dude over here will raise the alarm, so if you can, kill him first. Wow, I just walked in front of and tanked all of that fire. Like a doofus. We can grab that one pickled foot. All that item does is give you more runes, so if you are farming for levels, by all means use it. Man, I was hoping to get the pickaxe. He dropped a stone though, but oh well, that's fine. And then we can keep heading west to get into the next area. There's going to be one more dude over here. And then there will be another dude right behind the ladder. So drop down. You won't take any fall damage. And then you can kill him before he aggroes and does anything. Man, I was hoping you were going to give me something good. But that's fine. Don't forget to grab the smithing stone 4 by the doorway. And then we can head through into the next section, where we're basically at our boss fight, which is right through those doors. But before we go to the boss fight, we got to talk to an old friend, Alexander.
Oh, esteemed warrior. Where did you spring from? This was supposed to be a dead end, I'm sure of it. What's going on here? A door from thin air. Well, stranger things happen at sea, or so I'm told. But onward to the Caelid Wilds. Gosh, that dead end had me rather stumped. It's time I set off to the festival at Redmane Castle on the southern edge of the Scarlet Rot blighted Caelid Wilds. Doesn't the thought just set your heart aflutter?
Alright, well, we'll see him in Redmane Castle. Grab the last stone there, and then we're going to hit this grace so we don't have to run through this whole jail again. If we do die, which I don't think we will. But in this cave, if you are a spellcaster, this is probably one of the best, if not the best, melee weapon for you to use in the game. I was tempted to use it, but you know, when the game came out, everybody and their brother who found this weapon was using it. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to use it. But it is Moonveil. So, if you want to use it, you are welcome to use it. I personally have used it more than enough in my own playthroughs. I don't really want to use it now. We're going to hit him with that. This Magma Wyrm is going to be different, as it will not stand up. It won't stand up once it reaches half health. So you don't have to worry too much about it. Don't have to worry about too much of anything, honestly. This thing's going to push over by now, as you can see. Alright, well that was easy. Get another Dragon Heart, and then we get Moonveil. I will give Moonveil props, though. It's probably the coolest looking katana in this game. Or I shouldn't say cool. The most majestic weapon in the game. Maybe top 3. Top 3 in the majestic department. Alright, where am I at on my notes? Just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything so far. Alright, from here, we are going to warp to... Where is it? Rot View Balcony. And then we are going to head north, or I should say the northwestern section is what we're going to head through next. So, I think I can level up now. We'll do that before we do anything else. Excellent. And then, we are going to head a little bit north and northeast, as we are going to follow these cliff sides. You don't need to kill any of those guys. They don't drop a single thing, except for like some crafting items. So if you're looking for craftables, you can do that as well. But for me, nah, not real needed. But we're going to run through over here, and we're going to hit this grace over here. Now, if you are a strength build and you want one of the best strength weapons of the game, we are going to go get it right now. It's in that cart straight ahead. But before we do that, we got to make sure we take out these dogs. So, take care of one. We should be strong enough to just kind of whoop his butt pretty quick. Yeah, easy. Very easy. Ooh, I forgot to use my third talisman slot. What the heck? Jump talisman, baby. Now, when you get closer to the cart, one of these birds will aggro, and it will see you from a mile away, actually. Forgot about that. Hey, it actually fell over. Nice. Oh, it doesn't give me the visceral. Well, that's a lie. Alright, there we go. Easy peasy. Now, before you go to the cart, you can come over here and grab all of these items in this camp as well. So you get some explosive bolts. And a ruin arc. And then, before we grab the chest, because every now and again this one will aggro, we want to equip a bow. I really should just level up this bow. And we want to alert that one. Alright, now we can grab our sword. You get the Greatsword. Any of you Berserk fans out there like me must love that weapon. For me, though, honestly, I don't really like it. I don't like the look of it. I think the one in Dark Souls 3 looks better. It definitely is not better overall, but I think in terms of looks, definitely not as good as the one from Dark Souls 3. Because it doesn't look like a sword. That's the thing that bothers me. It looks like you're just wielding a beam. And I know the lore of that weapon is supposed to be like it's a giant, unwieldable weapon. But that one is not the Dragon Slayer sword. That is the broadsword that he wields at the start of the series when he's a child. Right? It shouldn't be that big, but whatever. Alright, so we got Whirl of Flame. Pretty cool incantation. And yeah, also I'll just show what I mean. If you've never used this weapon, never found this weapon, you might not know what I'm talking about, so I'll just slap this puppy on. But look at how ugly this thing is. I'm just not a fan. Like it's mainly, like the blade is okay, but it's mainly the guard, right where the blade attaches to the handle. I just think it looks stupid and silly. It looks like we're holding a cinder block. You know what I mean? Like it just looks bad. I wish they made a better design for this weapon. Otherwise, I'd probably use it on every single run that I could possibly use it on. Because I do like that they put Berserk stuff in this game. I think it's a phenomenal manga, and probably my favorite manga and anime is Berserk. The OG 97 Berserk. But we're going to run up here because we have an item on a chair. Now we're going to run this way. And we are looking for a tree branch that we can hop down on for an item. And we might have to kill a boatload of Erdtree dudes. So, just be prepared to kill a lot of them. Ooh, Guardian Garb. Nice. Hey, there they are. Oh, that first hit was nice. Ooh, that first hit was nice. Oh, that felt so good, clobbering all of them at once. Alright, but now we're going to come here. And we want to drop down. And then we're heading toward that item. We got one more Guardian to kill. Ooh, what'd you give me? A sunflower? Eh. Alright, but that's that. Now we can head back to the Caelem ruins. Alright, so we have done pretty much everything in this section here. Now we are going to start working our way down, and we're going to try to complete all of this section of the map that is shown. In the next episode, we're going to go down to the south and try to complete this whole section of the game, and then the final section we will complete is way over here in the northern part. We might leave the very northern part for the last section of Caelid, but we'll see what we can get to in about 2 hours. So, in these ruins, there really isn't much here, except for a couple of items. The first item is right here. And we also have some carts to deal with. Which, if you've never dealt with a cart, you want to just kind of run over nice and quiet like. And then you want to run and jump onto it. And then hit R1. What this does is instantly kill them. So you do not have to deal with the actual carts as enemies. And I believe most of the time they drop Smoldering Butterflies. And a Fire Blossom. So again, if you're looking for craftables for different pots or bombs or things like that, it's useful to go get them. But overall, I don't really see much benefit. Along with that, you can get Smoldering Butterflies. And when you trigger enemies like this, they will just continually respawn. So don't worry too much about killing all of them to grab every item in the ruins. It's honestly just a better idea after you kill that first cart to just ignore all of the enemies, grab any of the remaining items you see, and then once you wrap around this building, you want to head down the stairs. Ooh, I forgot about this item over here. You gotta grab this item first, then you want to head down the stairs. And now you have another double boss fight, but this one's fairly simple and straightforward. It is the pumpkin heads. You can take care of the one sitting down with your charge attacks, jump attacks, and chilling mist. They're pretty much going to do the same thing to this guy. Oh, thank God he didn't hit me. I probably would have died. Well, thanks for teleporting. I appreciate that. And there we go. He dead. And then you can open up the next door to get a pretty cool great shield. offers a very interesting way to play. The Visage shield, which is just like the carts. It's pretty cool. So this thing, its Ash of War, is just basically spraying fire everywhere. It's friggin' cool. It's so much fun to use. I'm not gonna lie. I've made a build on New Game Plus where I tried to use that weapon as my only weapon, and it's so much fun. It was so much fun just blocking attacks and then immediately just burning everything alive. It was so much fun to do. But for now, I gotta remember where we're going. Oh, we're heading south. That's right. Alright, so once we head south, we can use this grace right over here. So one thing that you might not have known about an Elden Ring in your first playthrough, or if this is your multiple playthrough and you still don't know it, that's fine. But these things right here are just Stargazers. It shows you a world view of the map. It's kind of cool. So this is the swamp. We are not going to cover this in this episode. We are going to cover way over there. That is the main section that we're going to cover today, right through this area. So it's pretty cool. I like that. I like this shot a lot because they take out all the items and the teeny tiny enemies, but they leave all the big enemies like the birds and the dogs. It's cool. Gives you an idea of what to expect. All right, but we're going to rest at that grace. And then we are going to head to a fort. And how we're going to head this way is by following the wall. You can talk to the finger crone reader if you want. All she really does is just talk about different lore stuff, so it's not super important. But we're going to come over here because we got a chest in this little camp that we got to grab. There are a couple red mane knights, but we want the slumbering egg. You can run away if you like, but if you don't like me, you can try to kill all of them with frost. Oh, so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Ah, so satisfying. Alright, now we're going to head through, or head and follow the wall all the way near this castle. Now, as soon as you see that cart to the right, we're going to cut across and head that direction so we can get a grace over here. Don't worry about the beetle. We will get that once we clear out this base or the front level of this castle. Alright, so before everybody heads over here, just rest real quick. And then I do suggest, if you are following my exact build, you slap on Cold Frost Stomp or Hoarfrost Stomp, as you will need it for your beetle. So if you are playing that with that weapon, or any weapon that deals with that type of damage, I do recommend it. I think it's very, very helpful. But for now, what we're going to do is head up this way. As you can see, there's a knight almost directly above my head. That's the dude we're going to try to kill first. Because he's going to drop down his Ash of War, a boatload of arrows, all the time. And it's not going to stop, so we're going to go kill him first. And if at any point you run out of heals and you need to go back and reset, instead of doing that on this platform, there is a beetle for you to grab any heals that you need left. And now we're going to follow or run through this way as he's using his Ash of War spam to be no fun. Oh, I didn't kill him, dang it. I whiffed. Alright, easy enough. Ooh, great bow, thank you. I whiffed again. Oh, they're dead. Hey guys, what's up? You here to say hi? Oh, thank God, that was gonna hurt so bad. Oh, good move. Oh, gauntlets. Nice. MVP, calm down. Alright, so once those dudes are dead, and thankfully they cleared out that side of the camp as well, there isn't really anything over there, so you don't have to worry about that section. But over here, we got more explosive great bolts. Then we're going to come back down this way. And we're going to head over to the right side. And we're going to kill this dude that's chilling. And then we're going to kill these dudes. Whoops. There we go. Man, I'm whiffing a lot. I definitely don't have my home run swing turned up today. Alright, so once this dude comes a little closer, we're going to try to run and jump on his head. Nice, we got it. And then he's going to die. Alright, Smithing Stone 3, more Fire Blossoms. And then we can nuke that dude. Alright, so now we can get into our position to try to kill the beetle. Excellent, that worked perfectly. Now we can kill these dudes. The roll for this weapon is so good. Man, I'm getting a ton of items right now from this camp. My goodness. Alright, so that should be every enemy outside this front of the camp. Now we're going to head into the castle. Actually, I think before we head into the castle, we're going to run and grab an important incantation, which I do suggest pretty much every melee build put enough levels into Faith at some point of their playthrough to use, as it does raise their attack power. So, especially if you're using a fire build, it is very useful. But we are going to run and jump, and we're going to kill this one. And after we kill this one, we're going to run and grab that item right there. And then we're going to giddy outie as fast as possible. Run! And now we're going to hop on Torrent and wrap around the castle. We're going to go the exact same spot that we just were at. We don't need to kill the other cart. However, if you want to, you definitely can. It's going to be tough to try to get him back into a position where you can kill him, or try to bait him over where you can jump on top of his head. So you might just have to go and beat the squishy body of the dude sitting out of the cart. But that incantation, Flame Grant Me Strength, is pretty cool. I believe it raises physical attack power and fire power. So even if you are not using, let me see. Even if you're not using a fire weapon, it should still work pretty well. Yep, raises physical and fire attack power. So all you need is 15 faith. So if you chose the Prophet for your base or starting class, you probably already have enough intelligence, or not intelligence, enough faith to do that. We're going to kill that dude, grab the weapon before you drop down. Oh no! Dang it. Let's say before you drop down to kill the lion, we want to go up top and kill some other guys. But it's no big deal. We can just do this now. He's not that hard. Almost there. And then we get a very strong Ash of War Lion's Claw. So cool. Then we get a Rune Arc, and now we're looking for this ladder right over here to climb all the way back up. We were going to do this at the end, because then we don't really have to worry about the ladder or anything anymore. We could just warp out, but oh well. Got to run and jump across the gap, and then go across the beam again, just like we did at the start. And then we got a couple of knights up top to kill. And then we get a chest and a teleporter that teleports you to another section of Caelid. I believe it sends you to Redmane Castle. So you don't really need to do it right now, but you could if you want to. Alright, so castle's cleared out. We get the Star Scourge heirloom. which I believe raises intelligence. I could be wrong. It's either strength or intelligence. Strength, that's what it is. So if you're a strength build looking to use a very hefty weapon, that will help you out a lot. So up here, this is where you're going to see your portal. Don't really need to go through it. You can if you want to, but it's just not going to really benefit you. It just takes you somewhere else in Caelid, which we'll get there eventually, so not really needed. But we have done pretty much everything in this fort. There's only one item that we need to do that is left. Much faster than taking the ladder down. I will say I do love Night Rain where you don't have fall damage, so you can just do death jumps. There are jumps that would kill anybody in Elden Ring, but then in Night Rain, they're like, ah, nah, not even my cankles. My cankles don't even hurt. But we grabbed some mushrooms, and now we have done everything in this area, and we're going to warp back to the Smoldering Wall. Wow, why did my notes get all out of order? That sucks. Alright, so, notes are out of order. I apologize for that, but now we're going to go do kind of a little bit of a circle right through this area, as we're going to grab some items that we need. We're going to start by running up this cliffside here. We want to lure the bird down because we do have an item up here that we want to grab, and this way it won't attack us right away. Golden Rune 9. And then we're going to run this direction for another item. Ouch. That is down here. Or excuse me, that is over here. Similar thing, we want to alert the crows so we can get this item up top. Smithing Stone 5. I believe that's the only item up here. I'm a little busy, so I can't check my notes, unfortunately. But from here, are they still following me? Yes, they are. Well, we'll kill one. Ouch. Ouch, I rolled right into that. Dang, still alive. Alright, so the reason we wanted to kill that one is because right over here, as you can see, or hopefully see, is a beetle. Run! There we go. Which drops a Somber 4. Alright, and then I believe that is every item in this section. Just gotta remember if there's anything at this cart. Nope, but we're gonna kill these guys, see if they drop me a pickaxe. Dang it! Oh, hey dog, what's up? Man, the Great Mace is so strong. Alright, so if you head that way, that just leads back to the jail we've already visited. So we are going to end up... Let's see, how much heals do I have? Ooh, I got 10 heals. We are perfectly fine. We're going to go through the ruins. If you are low on heals, I suggest you warp up to the Rot View balcony because we're going to finish wrapping up right in here. And then we're going to move farther south, and we're going to go get the southern map piece and clear up every item that's alongside the edge of, or the western edge of the Swamp of Aeonia. So, we're going to kill a couple of crows. Got to try to lure them over one at a time. I love how they just randomly destroy the walls. It's so cool. Ouch. So mean. Alright, so we killed that bird. And we can continue on. There we go. So in here, we got a Smithing Stone 4. If you run and grab that, another bird will fall down. So pay attention to that before you go and run and do it. Ideally, we want to try to alert one more bird at a time. There's another one on the other side of that wall. So we want to try to stay over here when we are fighting these things. So that is a grab. Watch out for that. It's a faking. It's a fake. It's not going to actually fall over like it would before. You got to see the huge yellow circle in order for it to actually be something like that. Alright, so now we can use a Stonesword key and we can run down and go get an item. We get the Sword of Saint Trina. Kind of a cool weapon. It's one of the only sleep weapons in the game. Pretty cool. Then we can run back out here and grab our smithing stone 4. Alright, and we got one last item right up top here. And then this will clear out these ruins as well. Okay, so from here, we really only have that little section left in between the ruins. I ran through there. I did not find any items. However, I could have missed something. I don't expect there to be anything big because it's literally titled nothing between the Caelem ruins and the Forsaken ruins. So if you want to run through it, be my guest. But we are now going to warp to the Smoldering wall. Alright, so let's level up. And then we are going to start heading south a little bit. Alright, let me look at my notes again real quick. Yes, we want to... Man, my notes are so unorganized this time. I gotta fire my note keeper. This is my girlfriend. I don't think she's gonna be very happy about that, but that's fine. It's just a total cluster of what we did. Like, we did it, and it's in order, but I went out of order, and I don't know where things are because you just made it in one giant paragraph and forgot to create a new line when we go somewhere new. So when I see something that is not right, I'm like, what? Why is that there? We did that a while ago. But that's fine. We are going to head south. You can follow along this path. And we're going to go get this beetle right here. Oh, I missed. Dang it. So, this beetle has the Ash of War Life Fist Steel, or Life, oh god, words are hard. Life Steel Fist. So, kind of cool. Before we head down the path, though, I am going to run over here and say hi to the merchant. Main reason I want to say hi is because I want to buy some stuff from him.
Welcome, dear customer. Welcome, valued customer. Please, I'm
Alright, we want to buy these. The boluses are very helpful, as we are going to get rot eventually. We just are. So, embrace it, love it, live it, buy some rot boluses so you can live. And then we're going to continue back up to the path. And then we're going to head across. Across the path and straight down south to a new race. You can ignore all of these enemies. You don't need to kill any of them. There's nothing crazy to grab as of yet. Again, most of the section here that's in the trees and whatnot, we are going to leave for later. Before you alert the dragon, make sure you get this grace here. So, for this dragon, we're not going to fight him right now. We're going to actually run past him and get into the church, because that way is just a little easier, because it allows you to sneak up on him, where here we don't really sneak up on him, because we're facing the direction of his head. So you just want to run up this path and go through and grab your items from the graves. And then we continue on to the church. Before the dragon, it's exactly like all other dragon fights, except when it stomps, it will do rot, like it'll poof rot up from the dirt. And it'll give you a chance of getting rot. He also... That was a sick dodge. He also will eventually, when he shifts to like half health, something like that, he will just start spraying rot everywhere. At that point, get on Torrent and run away. If you do get Rot, actually, before you fight him, it's probably not a bad idea to, in one of these 4 slots, switch out the empty slot for your Preserving Boluses. Then you don't have to filter through your inventory to use them, or put them in an annoying spot. Now, in this section, this is where you can buy all of your different dragon hearts that we've gotten from different spells, or different dragons that we have killed along the way. This, where is it? Oh, JK, it's not here. But this is the altar that you're going to have to get a legendary incantation, which is the Grail's Roar. Grail's Roar you get from way up here. There's a dragon laying down. You got to kill it in order to unlock the spell. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But now, let me see. How many heals do I have? Perfect. I am at full health. We're going to go fight the dragon. See what happens. I normally wait till I'm stupidly strong to fight this thing because the Rot is just annoying. But it's alright. Let's see. Oh, I want to switch my weapon though. Or switch my Ash of War because I want the frost buff. I want the frost buff so I can do that as well instead of relying on Hoarfrost Stomp. Ash of War. Chilling Mist. You're going to go heavy. Oh, that's right. Gotta kill you again. Hey. Well, that's fine. We'll just do it with 9 heals. No big deal. Alright, so we're gonna run down this way. I'm gonna chug my juice box. And we're gonna run over here and start whacking. Already got frost on him. Lovely. Oh, that's right. This is Night Rain. I played Night Rain last night with the girlfriend. So I'm used to hitting my left stick to run. So I'm just sitting there crouching. Like a nincompoop. Oh, Rot Breath. Why am I not running? Oh, dang it. That sucks. So use that. Serving boluses. That will eventually reach you, so you gotta run past. Oh, more Rot. Cool. Roll. Oh, this is the attack where you want to get on your horse. Again, the whole arena just kind of fills up. Use my Preserving Bolus. Come down here. Come down here so I can bonk you. Oh, good move. Oh, run away. Oh. No. Is he broken? He might be broken. Oh, come on. I hate this arena. There we go. Dang it. Oh, thought he was going to do it again. I missed. Dang it. Almost there. Yeah. Beauty. Not bad. Not bad. One of the harder dragons up to the point, and probably like top 2 hardest dragons in the game, in my opinion, because that rot can be so tricky to deal with. But now you just get his rot breath as an attack. It's kind of cool. So if you are planning on doing a dragon build, honestly, my favorite spell in the game, which just makes you feel so incredibly strong, is trying to use the Dragon Claws. The Dragon Claws are just awesome. Because you just pound on the earth and do a large slam while roaring like a dragon. It's so cool. And the Dragon Bite isn't bad either. Otherwise, you just kind of got some Dragon Breath attacks. So now we're heading northeast, so we can run over here and get a map piece. Alright, then we're going to keep heading east, as there will eventually be a Grace. So the Grace should be right over here, yep. Alright, so for now, we want to pass time until night. And a couple things I want to point out. There's a Deathbird over there. It is very strong. We will do this much later when we have much higher levels and probably a better weapon to use. Like it might be like a Faith build because that thing's weak to Faith. We have a Merchant by the pillar, but the real reason we switched it tonight is for the Knights Cavalry that is over yonder. Again, the Knights Cavalry is the exact same fight as always. This time it's one of the Flail Knights. It will drop a Ash of War. That's like your Poison Mist almost. It's similar to the Poison Mist. So just be on the lookout for that. But this one isn't too hard. It's pretty much the same deal. As always. It's a lot of damage. I rolled! I swear I hit the button. Alright, I'm back. And I ain't hear no bell. This is going 18 rounds. I missed. Dang it. That's so much damage. Oh, it's so much damage. Oh! Did he input read me? I feel like he had to, right? Well, sorry, horse. And sorry about your nuts, dude. They are getting a little messed up. They're getting a little busted. Alright, so we got him, and then we ended up getting the Poison Moth's Flight. Alright, so from here, we're going to run through this way. We're going to try to get any items we see. Can't remember. Is there anything over here? Nope, doesn't look like it. Man, Caelid Wilds is so cool. Like, I love the lore of this place. I love that Radon and Melania's battle was so devastating that it ended up corrupting an entire landscape. That's so wild. It's so wild and it's so cool. Alright, so I believe we have something up here. I was looking for this. Yep. Got an item up top. Good old golden rune. And then we can continue on down this little slope as we are heading back west to do the rest of the west section. So we're not going to go too far down in this area. At least not yet. We're going to save that for another episode. Because what I want to plan on doing for this rest of the run is I want to Oh, by the way, Starlight Shards. Forgot about them. They're right over there. But what I wanted to do was grab the ruins right there where we can get a cool sword, a cool katana, and then you can see right above my, right underneath that branch, there's a cave over there. So that's probably where we're going to end our episode after we complete those two things. So this is going to be a little shorter episode. I just don't have a lot of time to record, and after my blunder in the previous episode where I ended up doing an extra, like, 3 hours of work for one episode, it's just kind of hard for me to justify spending more than the normal time on a video when I don't have time, because I used all of my time making the other video and making a speedrun route to get up to that point to try to get through everything and all that jazz. So, wasn't the greatest moment for me when it comes to, you know, recording and making content. Definitely not my brightest moment. Damn, dog. These insects move so creepy. I remember getting so uncomfortable when I was fighting these things my first playthrough. But now as I'm like 700 hours in, probably closer to 800 hours in, I'm like, God, they're just annoying. They're still gross, but they just move annoying. Alright, we grab some rot grease. Got another puppies to kill. Another poison dude to kill. We get a dragonfly head. We got some more pests to kill. Why are you sleeping with your butt up in here? That's just weird. Ooh, the pest glaive. Nice. That weapon's pretty cool. I've played with that. So, the pest glaive. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Pest glaive's a halberd, got spinning slash. It's just pretty cool. It just looks really sweet because it's like, it's just a sharpened shell from one of their dead. I think it's so cool. I think that's cool. I think it's cool lore. I think it makes the enemies way grosser than they actually are, or than they already are. Where is my staircase though? There should be a staircase. That leads me to my item. And hands down one of the worst rooms in all of Elden Ring. Ooh, is that it? That looks like it's it. Ooh, another pest glaive. I could dual wield those SOBs. Alright, I think that's everything that I needed to do. Yep, came up from here already. Alright, so we're going to head down here. Make sure you are at full health, because when we get into here, there's a boatload of little baby pests that are going to be spamming their terrible magic that just has the worst homing missiles in any game. So, you just kind of got to make sure that you are paying attention to your surroundings, not trying to get boxed in, because there's a lot in here. I don't know why I'm not getting the RNG where they just start spamming their magic, because that's typically what I get when I come through here. Like, there's so many, my god. Alright, so we killed all of them, and then we get our door. And this weapon is pretty cool. This is the weapon I used for my first playthrough. The Meteoric Oreblade. So, pretty cool looking katana. I need a light. That's not it. That's not it. I know how buttons work. I know how buttons work. Look at that thing. It's so cool. It's so cool. And the Ash of War is Gravitas, which is okay. It's not the best. But that was a cool weapon to use, along with Moonveil. So I had a magic bleed build going on. It's pretty cool. Wasn't like a supremely optimized, most damaged build. It was just kind of like a... It was kind of like a... I wanted to do just a couple of spells, a couple of gravity magic spells, and then I wanted to use a magic katana in order to do damage. And I fell in love with the Gravitas katana more than I did the Moonveil. So, yeah. But as you can see, we got all of this area, which was probably what we're going to do in the next episode, because there's a lot to do through here, and then we'll end up going up north into this section, and then we'll probably finish Caelid off covering this whole area, and then going down to Redmane Castle. That's probably what the order of operations will go in Caelid. Alright, so now we want to head north. We want to just stay on Torrent as we ride through the swamp. Otherwise, we will be starting to get build up of rot. And then we're going to open this gate. And we're going to start in the tunnels. I believe this is the last thing I did in my walkthrough prep. Oh, JK, this is where I ended my walkthrough prep. Well, that's fine. We can do this one together. We can do it live. I got a little more time. I got like 20 minutes, so it should be enough time to do this. Most of these are only like 5-10 minutes anyway. But we get a rune arc. Then we can head in here and kill the rat. We can grab the golden rune too. And we're going to run down the rest of the tunnel. I believe there's a drop down here somewhere. Oh, nope, I'm thinking of a different one. So we're going to run through here and kill a rat. And then we can't open this yet because we got to look for the lever. Which means we got to run through this jail cell. Now we fall. This is where I was thinking. Alright. So, in here, if you wanted to, not a bad idea to try to kill some of these guys, because eventually, the doors will be open and they'll be wandering everywhere. So it is helpful when you're trying to grab all items to kill them before they have a chance to kill you. Just saying. So, same thing over here. Bigger bonks. And then we can't go through that doorway. Ooh, Vulgar Militia. Nice. That's good he dropped down. And then from here, we reach the Stake of Marika, so if you do die, you can come back. Right to that spot. Kill those two dudes. Now we keep heading down. Ooh, I didn't kill him. Ooh, I didn't kill him either. What the heck? Nice. That might aggro that one. Yeah! Come closer. So I can bonk you. What? What? There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Less enemies to take care of once we get these doors open. Alright, so from here, we want to go to the right. Is it the right? I can't remember. I don't think so. Ah, here we go. But we want to go this way, kill a couple rats. And then we want to head this way to kill more rats. What'd you give me? Golden Rune 3. And a Golden Rune 4. And Turtleneck. Nice. They're going to run up this way. In here, there's a boatload of Vulgar Militia. We got one up top. That's it? I thought there was more. We get a Golden Rune 5. And then Sombering 5. Nice. And now we can open this up. And we should be pretty much right back to the beginning of the level. Kind of cool, right? But in order to move on from here, we got to go up the steps. Oh, I almost missed my lever. There we go. And now, all the gates open up. And we can go to town whacking everything else. Alright, so we kill that dude first. Then you can see we are now back at the very top of the level. Kind of cool how this works, doesn't it? I like this jail because everything overlaps. I think like every time I play the game I come to do this jail because this is one of the few that I really enjoy. It's also one of the early spots for a Somber 5. Which means, whenever I get a cool Somber weapon that I want to use, I could get that weapon up to level 5 really quick and right away. Alright, so... gotta think, which ways have I gone? Came through this way, right? Yes, I did. Just missed an item. Golden Rune 2. Went that way. Came out that way. We want to go this way. Want to drop down. Grab this item in here. All we're doing now is just retracing our steps. Not a bad idea to kill every enemy you see too, so it helps you keep track of where you're going. Also, if you have shining stones or shining pebbles, you can lay those down as well. Alright, that made me giggle. That was pretty funny. My character just gets blown up. Oh! And then we get the Wakizashi, which is one of my favorite daggers, and a Stonesword key. So, the cool thing about using that little dagger, if you're a samurai build where you're using katanas, is you will get the two-handed, or the two-armament katana moveset. Moveset. If you're using that weapon as well. It's pretty cool. And then if you tack on like a parry animation or a parry Ash of War to it, you get a really fun samurai build. I call it the Miyamoto Musashi build because that's basically what you're doing. Is you're playing like Miyamoto Musashi. Grab the rainbow stones, grab the golden rune 4s, and I believe we have done everything. So this is where your boss fight is. I'm gonna drop down again, and again, and again. When we get down here, we have a duelist to kill. The duelist is gonna be very squishy because frost. And you can backstab, and you can stagger pretty easily. Yeah, what a boss fight. And there we go. You get the Putrid Corpse's ashes. Now, instead of running out and using that, we want to run out this path to grab a cool weapon, which is a pretty fun straight sword to use. It's got a very overpowered Ash of War, Regalia Eochad. That is the weapon that is pretty fun. I have made a build with this straight sword. It's based around Arcane, which is pretty cool. But you get the Eochad's Dancing Blade. So if you've played Elden Ring before, which I'm assuming you have, and if you've played Night Rain, which I'm assuming you have, this is the Executioner's weapon. Come on. Executioner's Ash of War. So when you're using this... oh, I can't show it. I don't have the levels. That's right. But when you're using this weapon, you get that big drill attack. It's real cool. Real cool. It's pretty fun. And if it's not the drill attack, then you get the big slash. I can't remember which one it is. It's been a while since I've used it. Alright, so we have done pretty much everything in this western section of Caelid. There might be a little bit that we're going to revisit when we come through this whole section, the swamp section of the game. But for now, that's pretty much everything that we are going to cover in this episode. The next episode, we're probably going to be starting from Smoldering Wall. We're going to run through the edge, and we're going to wrap almost all the way around through this swamp. And then we're going to cover this little town. We're going to get a couple upgrade stones through here in a new cave. And then we're going to explore the rest of the swamp. in the next episode. So, apologies about the shorter episode, but with the last one being around 2.5, 3 hours, and me having to spend like, how many hours was it? Like 6 hours, roughly, to get all the way back to Raya Lucaria. Alright, but we're going to wrap up here. As I mentioned earlier, I apologize for this episode being shorter than the last ones. The main reason is because the last episode took up so much of my week because I'm an idiot and forgot to hit record that I basically lost time to do more of the walkthrough prep of Caelid and get Caelid done so we can make longer episodes of that as well. So unfortunately, this episode's only going to be a little over an hour long, which I apologize. I apologize. But in the next episode, we should, if my schedule allows it, be back to 3-hour episodes as long as I don't mess up recording again. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you all tuning in. If you have any questions about Caelid, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them. But I do have one question for you before we go. Which area of this game so far has been your favorite? Like, how much stuff have you discovered? Like, did you go through and find everything in Limgrave your first playthrough? Did you find everything in Liurnia? Was there something new that you're like, whoa, that's pretty sweet? If so, drop them in the comments because we've done, like, everything. And I mean, like, everything in the game. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. But I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.